What's going on Facebook, IG? It's your boy hopThe, CFO Platinum Boy Music, and I'm coming to you from the Unspoken Word podcast. Today's topic, history of hip hop. Let's see if you know it. Let's go. Good evening, man. What's going on? It's your boy hopThe, CFO Platinum Boy Music, and I'm back with you another episode of the Unspoken Word podcast. And I am joined by my co-host, the CEO, that man, that dude, Pt.1. Come on, pimpin'.
What up, my people? Now, it's your boy Pt.1. Signing in on the Unspoken Word podcast tonight. You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing, man? How you doing, my brother?
Man, I can't. Hey, blessed, brother. I'm blessed. Hey, good news. You know, always travel fast. But we're gonna jump right into this topic tonight, man. The history of hip hop, man. You know, gotta start testing that brain, see if you really know what you know. You feel me?
Right. The history of hip hop, one of the most celebrated art forms, music that's ever existed, in my opinion. You know, they didn't think that it would be around for a long time, but hey, that's another story. It's on you tonight. So you lead that thing, man. The history of hip hop. What's up, hopThe? Let's do it, baby.
Yeah, no.
Man,
what's happening with you?
Man, I'm chilling, bro. Just, trying to get to it, man. We got some crazy things going on, but it ain't about that tonight. It's about the Unspoken Word podcast, you know what I'm saying? And the history of hip hop is what we actually do it and why we do this for. So we're going to talk about how it got started and where it's at and where it's going and all that good stuff.
You know, started South Bronx, New York, 1973.
Okay.
DJ Kool Herc. Y'all know who is very legendary pioneer.
Okay. Won't you break it down and tell them a little bit about who
started out in some abandoned houses. They used to, run wires to lampposts and, start out house parties. Just worked his way from there to underground clubs. Really, tell you the truth, man, hip hop really was not supposed to lead the New York clubs. Seriously, if you don't know your history, New York hip hop was not supposed to lead the clubs. It was actually a club thing they did to keep the party going. So it was like a guy got two turntables, mixed in some music. Next you know, you see somebody grab a mic, say some rhymes. And that's what it was. It was actually a party thing for a party anthem. That was it. And hip hop was never
so it was almost like a neighborhood thing.
Right.
Say like a neighborhood. Hey, this is what we do in the neighborhood. I wonder what my question is. I wonder what made Kool Herc after they did that. What made them call it hip hop? What made them, you know what I mean? Like, what was the influence behind? I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I know the block parties and everything, but I'm saying, like, from the aspect of, like, did they see that it was something special with a certain time or something that made them be like, yo, this is something new that we got to try? Like, I wonder what was the driving force behind it.
You know, the music probably was real, back then, a lot of the music was real hip. So, hip, the music was jumping a lot. It always kept you jumping. It always kept you partying, kept you sweating on the dance floor.
So initially, hip hop was a party based genre of
Party, just
music that was started. You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just,
We just
you know,
elevated it to different
right.
levels.
Elevated from there. The first major hit was Rapper's Delight. That was the first major hit. It
Who was
almost was
that
like
by?
this.
Who was the Rapper's Delight? Who was that? Who was that by?
That was by uh
Sugar Hill Gang.
Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah, you're right. Sugar Hill Gang. Good. You know your history. But
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? Yeah, the first it was based off at the time hip hop really wasn't being felt around 73. It was more disco.
Okay.
So disco really took over the 70s. Really didn't hear too much about hip hop until the late 70s. But the early 70s, it was straight disco. What happened was too many people were doing disco. It got watered down. So the rockers killed disco, made it go away. But really it didn't. What it did was mutate it into hip hop. That's all hip hop is. It's actually disco. That's why you see so many people sampling music. It's disco. The first ever disco album was turned into a hip hop album, The Rapper's Delight. It's spun off by a musician out of this group called Taste the Honey. Your boy, damn, Niles Rodgers. That was him.
Yeah.
Niles Rodgers.
Yeah.
They took the beat off of one of his songs. It was Taste the Honey and stuff. Never forget that group because they had a couple of hits that they was trying to get into this legendary club with, and they wouldn't allow it in. Even when they was on the guest list, they got turned away.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah, they're one of their instrumentals got in the hands of a lady named Sylvia Rowland.
Sylvia Rowland.
Yeah, Rowland. Sylvia Rowland got into her hands. So she was looking for somebody to rap over this beat. So she went to a local pizza parlor.
Okay.
And ran into two of the guys from the Sugar Hill Gang worked there.
Which was wasn't it Mike B? I mean not Mike B. What's the
Master G.
Master G and
what was the other Mike D, wasn't it?
I want to say Mike D, but I'm thinking Mike D was with Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
So it was Grandmaster. It was Master G. I can't, man. I'm completely drawing a blank right now.
But anyway, with that group spun off hip hop, man, and they said hip hop wasn't gonna last 10 years.
Right.
It's spun off. DJs coming up. You got Cool Herc. You got Curtis Blow, Run DMC. A lot of these people spun off. This history of hip hop, man.
Right.
It really wasn't supposed to escape New York. You really want to know your more history of hip hop? Go and watch Evolution of Hip Hop on Netflix. It'll take you all the way back to now.
Right.
That's why I learned a lot about it. But I grew up in it, so I can really say a lot how I got started, how I got mainstream. Def Jam was the first black owned, well, not black owned, because back then it was kind of hard.
Yeah.
For
Rick Rubin was the face
so Rick Rubin, took it up.
Yeah.
He played the back seat. He let he let Russell take the front because he was handling most of all the stuff like getting the buildings, stuff Russell couldn't get because he was black.
Right. And you also know, I don't know if people even know, I dropped a gem on them that Rick Rubin was one of the ones that was producing a lot of that music back then.
Oh
a lot of that we come to love and know. It was Rick Rubin that was producing a lot of that
stuff. His producing skills was just unmatched, man.
Man, yeah.
I'm serious.
He was on another level. I mean, he was the first one that took, you know, a Caucasian group and made them something of an entity in hip hop. Beastie Boys, you know what I'm saying? For the ones that don't know. Yeah, you know, and the crazy part is like they was dope. You know what I'm saying? I was a shorty when they was out, but I don't remember their music. It was crazy.
Beastie Boys wasn't no joke. I bumped their music right today.
Yeah.
Man, here's a little story you got to tell about six brothers. Hey, man. Yes. So,
you know, that's funny because I got like a little gem. Like when I first started rhyming, my mom's husband, brother, his brother, little brother, I ended up getting kind of close with. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna mention his name because I don't F with him no more. But he was one of the first ones back when we was rhyming and stuff, when I was rhyming, cause he would beatbox. And he was really, really good at beatboxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving him his props, even though I don't F with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give him some props, but I ain't saying his name. But he used to always beatbox Paul Revere, that beat. And when I tell you, man, I would rhyme over him beatboxing, and he was able to do the whole backwards thing. Man, it was phenomenal. For real. Like those are some of the influences of me and hip hop. You know what I mean?
Man, for me, it was more, it brought out the breakdancing for me. That's when I really started getting into hip hop because I used to be a breakdancer, you know. So for me, going, you know,
good at breakdancing, was you more of the pop locker, or was you the breaker, or was you the spinning on your back?
I was a little bit of both because you got to understand, I came through the area of pop locking. You know, that's how it first started, pop locking, you know. So I came through a little bit of that area too. So yeah, I was a little bit of everything.
Do you remember in the Ville, what's the guy's name? The little Puerto Rican guy. He used to be pop locking and breaking. What's it? I can't think of his name. It's at the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna think about it. But he was a legend around Danville. He was like when dudes was out there popping and breaking and stuff. Like he was Cosmo.
Oh yeah.
Cosmo?
Yeah. Yeah. You remember Raynham had a group?
Yeah. Cause
Ray had a group. Him, Ty Lewis, Musk.
Yeah, you know, Cosmo was the first cat that I seen that took some rubber bands and tied them all the way up from his hands to his feet. And he would pop with the rubber bands like he was a puppet. And man, I'm talking about this dude was phenomenal. Cosmo. I don't even know if the Danville people would even remember, but I remember that, like certain things that inspired me and influenced my lifestyle. I remember those things. And Cosmo, I don't even know if you remember him, cuz, but I remember being at break dance challenges and stuff, and he would kill the game. You know what I mean? But anyway,
man, my version of hip hop, man, is one of our persons, since we is taking it to the Ville, would be my boy Joe Fresh, man. That's the first dude I ever heard spit. For real. And I'm talking about this cat was like man.
I remember Joe, but hey, he was. I remember him as JoJo Fresh. They were saying JoJo, not Joe. He ended up being Joe Fresh. But when I remember when I looked up to him, he was JoJo Fresh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I got history with your boy, man. I got history out here, man. You know
That
what I'm
was
saying?
my little brother right there, man. That boy, man. We used to sit in the circle down in Carver Park, and man, he used to eat moms up for dinner, spit you out, and psst. But yeah, man,
Yeah,
the history of hip
that,
hop really start giving us our voice. Really start, you know, you got to see different areas, different aspects of the U.S. You know what I'm saying? You know,
that,
we stay, we from the central part of the U.S. You look in now, you're seeing New York, you're seeing L.A. Without even going out there, you're like, oh man, they clowning worse than us. But hip hop opened that up though, because I don't think without hip hop, I think a lot of stuff would still be new.
right. It
They
became
tried
a
to
voice
do it.
because what ended up happening is, from my understanding, hip hop is a lifestyle. It's not just the style of music. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
It's graffiti. It's fashion. It's, you know what I mean. That's almost like
dancing.
that's the inspiration
Yeah,
behind Platinum Girl apparel. You know what I'm saying? Is the hip hop is hip hop. It's a hip hop inspired clothing line. You know what I mean? And that's what I wanted to do with Platinum Girl, because I thought about even like in the '90s hip hop, some of the
right.
best music that ever came out. You know what I mean? That was some of the best times in the era for me that I'm familiar with. Don't get me wrong, I know about the 80s, but I was a shorty in the 80s.
Yeah,
So,
90s.
but I
You're right. You're right.
remember cats like Run
Mm-hmm.
DMC. You know what I'm
It
saying?
was
Just
fun,
Got It.
man. A lot of these
Uh,
cats need to really salute these doors that were broken open for them, man. Because I'm telling you, they did not want hip hop to succeed, cuz they was trying to crush it at all cost. They
right.
put labels on it. They PG'd it. You couldn't come on the radio with certain things. You know what I'm saying? I remember when you couldn't even listen to hip hop only on Sundays between the hours of 9 and 12.
Mhm.
That was the only time hip hop was played. We have broken doors, broke down barriers, man. And I want
It's
all
the
the
voice. It's the voice of a whole society, man. You know, it's
yes
the
of a
voice
whole
of a
generation,
whole generation. You know,
generations.
it's something that's here to stay. It's not going nowhere. It's just
Right.
you know what I mean? It's at a different level. Nas claimed it to be dead, but I was just listening to his new album, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he made a quote in there where he said, "I said hip hop was dead, but it pulled a Machiavelli, and it ain't really dead." You know what I'm saying? You got to listen to it, because like I heard the album, man.
We spun off greats, man. Some of the greats, like I said, Curtis Blow, Fat Boys,
Yeah,
Run DMC. You know what I'm
DMC,
saying?
Roxanne
Man,
Shante,
yeah,
UTFO,
yeah,
them D's. Like, we can go on and on. You know what I'm saying? The
oh,
list goes
man,
on
yeah.
all the way down to
I hear,
Kid and Play. You know what I mean? We had cats like Kid and Play. You know, Salt and
yeah.
Pepper. You know,
So
Salt and
80s
Pepper is
was the
another.
struggle, right?
Salt and
80s
Pepper
was
is
the
another
struggle.
one that inspired Platinum Girl apparel. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you know
those
what I'm saying?
sharp
So
dressed ladies, man.
yeah,
Sharp
yeah,
dressed ladies. They changed the game too, as far as for the women's side. They
yeah,
up to Annie. You know, just showed you that a duo can be a sisterhood outside the music.
yeah,
Cause you see
yeah,
now most mom started groups they break up. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man,
I mean, that
our
was kind
history.
of their legacy as well, though. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's really so much with hip hop that this could be like a 10-part series that we talk about. You know what I mean?
right.
Like, You know, we
Yeah.
already 20 minutes in deep, and it just feels like we scratched the surface of where hip
Surfing.
hop
Yeah, we just
came
hit the
from,
pinnacle.
man, where
But
it's
I
going
just
to.
want all my Facebook, IG people go watch Evolution of Hip Hop. If you don't know your
What's that
history, start
on?
learning it.
What's up? What's that on? Tell them what it's on.
Netflix.
Netflix.
Netflix, my bad.
Netflix.
Netflix,
Yeah.
yes. Start
Hold on.
learning
Let me
that, man.
pause for the calls real quick. Yo, let me tell all my peoples out there, if y'all rock with us from 1 to 1,000, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the save button, hit the share button. Any one of those things that you want to do, make sure you do that. That helps us get out there further and further and further. But go ahead, my brother.
Yes. And like I said, in closing, man, start learning your history on hip hop. All you youngsters out there trying to get in the game, learn your history first.
That's the
You know
thing,
what
man.
I'm
They
saying?
don't learn nothing. They don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like, I'm going to tell you something before we get out of here. I don't like, we the only genre of music that issues on the ones that came before us. We call them washed
Yeah.
up, we call them this, we call them that. And that I have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Because of the fact
Yes.
because we don't acknowledge where we came from. You know what I
Right.
mean? Without the great, without the legends, we wouldn't be where we are. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be doing what we are. And a lot of those brothers sacrifice no pay. A lot of those brothers didn't make
Right.
the money that these artists are making now.
It's
And they
making
can't
now.
even make the money now because they too washed. People call them washed. People don't respect the aspect. But you can get rock groups like, Kiss and all that, who've been famous for years. They kids know who Kiss is. We the only genre of music, cause I don't understand that we don't respect are the ones that came before us.
Well, it's just like Kanye said. We love their wealth, hate ourself. Once we start loving ourselves, we will be better as people.
Yeah, yeah.
We gotta love
So
ourselves.
with that being said, you know what I'm saying? We about 22 minutes in, man. We gonna keep this one short. So we gotta do a part two on this one, just like we gotta
Yes.
do a part two
Actually,
on
we're
our
gonna do
death
several
row.
parts of this.
We gotta do numerous parts on this. It's like we gotta talk about the death row thing, but that's another story. This is the history of hip hop part one. We definitely gonna come back. So let's make the next episode part two. Let's go ahead and
Right.
do a little
Yes,
bit
sir.
more research. Talk about the 80s, 90s. You know what I'm saying? We talked about the
Mm-hmm.
original 70s, early 80s. Let's go into the deeper 80s, 90s. Talk about some of the groups and how they inspired cats like PE, Public Enemy, different stuff like that changed the whole game. Gave us a brain. They also gave us something to think about, which they took it completely away now. That's a whole series in itself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We got
Mm-hmm.
something to talk about when it comes to the history of hip hop. This is part one. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here with my co-host, the crazy CFO. Coach
CFO,
Dilla
baby.
in the
You heard me?
building.
The one to run, go get that money. You feel me? We got that. Don't worry about that. But yeah,
Yo, I
learn your
just
history.
want to stop and put a shameless plug. Y'all go check out my Rapper Turn CEO EP. We got the Platinum Girl apparel line that's finna drop real soon.
Killing
We
them.
got so much more stuff going on. I ain't gonna announce everything that
Yeah.
we got going on, but we got a lot of stuff going on. And I just want y'all to keep in touch with us, man. Keep in touch with us. Like I said, make sure y'all like these videos. Make sure y'all share these videos. Leave your comments, your feedback. Give us some topics to talk about, all that stuff, man. We open to everything.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
our next segment, we got a big announcement for y'all. You heard?
Yeah, we're gonna
Platinum
do
Boy
that.
Music.
Yeah,
Yes.
we on another level. But this is the
So,
Unspoken Word podcast show. I'm your boy, one of the crazy hosts, chaotic, Pt.1 in the building, and my crazy co-host over there.
I am his nutty cousin, the man with the mind and the financial aid to get us to where we need to be. You heard me? Y'all know what it is, man. It's them platinum boys.
We
And like
out
I
of
was
there.
saying, I tell my cousin, you hating now? Wait till tomorrow. See you.
See ya. We out of this thing. Peace.